Hello guys, and welcome to another profile tree video. So in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the best font for a website. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started. So of course it can be a little bit hard to determine what sort of font will suit your website. Now if you don't have a keen eye for it, it can be a little bit easier to maybe go for bolder fonts. But I'm going to show you guys a way to actually find out what fonts would work well for your website. And for that, we'll be building a landing page later on in the video. But what I'm going to go ahead and show you is this application called Figma. Now, Figma is a great UI UX designer tool. And you can see here we've got a mock website. So this is, as you can see, some of the fonts that were used here are nice and bold, and it looks very modernized from what you can see. Now we're able to actually see what fonts has been used on this. So if I move closer to a font here, if I click on one, you can see that the text is leisure, but if I scroll down, you can see that the typography is actually sin at the weight of 700. And of course our sizing doesn't really matter there, but that is the sort of text and font that would work well for this website. So if I double click on another one, so the typography for this one's body text. So it's all about just messing about with the actual fonts and text just to suit and make the, or per se, for the best font website for your website. Now I'm going to go ahead and showcase one website here, which is our ProfileTree website. So you can see that we have, of course, color matched the colors to our website itself. So we've got a dark background, and of course this has to be white. Then we added our green ProfileTree colors in, and we've made it nice and bold, nice and clear for the readers to see, as well as adding hints of bold fonts, as you can see for this one. So the font weight in that one's a little bit harsher than it would be with this one. So you can see how that works. But going back to Figma anyway, as I said, it's a great way to use an application just to determine and see what would suit your website best. So now that we've seen an application or tool that you can use, now it's not just Figma itself. There are other application tools that you can use as a UI or UX development tool just to gauge what would suit your website best. I'm going to go ahead now and show you guys some of the different websites that you can use for free fonts. So this is one of the first places you guys should look at, which is Google Fonts. Now, completely free. You can pick whatever you want. Of course, some of the development tools may not have all the fonts that you need. So you may have to source, of course, a third-party area to download it and drop the file in. So I wouldn't really necessarily say Google Fonts is third-party, since this is pretty much just an extension of all their other fonts. So you can scroll through it. You can see that they do have a couple of different ones. Montserrat, which will be, or already will be, in some of the different CMS, or could be on the actual HTML code itself. So you wouldn't have to download anything that you would want, but some of the CMS type website builders like Wix or GoDaddy, Shopify, things with themes on them will have that. But yes, in order to actually get a couple of the fonts in, which I'll demonstrate later on in the video, so you would just click on the one that you want. So there is a font that I like to use. See if it's on here. Okay, so it's this one here. And you can see that I can preview it. I'll be able to adjust the font size. I could select whether I want it to be a little bit bolder than usual. So that's how they look. So I've got regular, semi-bold, bold, medium, light. Now, what's great about Google Fonts is if you just particularly like one of the types of fonts, go ahead and just click on it. And you can see that that is now selected. And you can see with the pop-up earlier on there that we are able to actually go ahead and download the font. So just view the selected families, as you can see on the very top here. So if I wanted to just have the semi-bold, so I'm happy enough with that, go ahead and click on View Selected Families. And then you can see that there's what the actual embed looks like. So if you were doing HTML, CSS coding, you would more or less just copy and paste the actual reference here, which is the link. So it's href, https. As long as it's an active link, the fonts won't disappear, but it's always best to just go ahead and download the fonts yourself and just have it on the actual style sheet. So there's a couple of the different links there that you can use. Or of course, if you are gonna just have if you're gonna download the family, just have it as CSS font family, Conforta, comma, then cursive. Then that's pretty much it. You would just copy and paste that in, as you can see, and then put it in. But in order to do that, you have to make sure that the actual file is in your coding file, or else it won't recognize it. So that's how to do that. Anyway, you can also download the entire family if you want to. So it's easy as that. It comes as a zip file. You'll be able to locate that on your file explorer. So it's easy enough for that. That's the entire thing. So that's from light 300 all the way down to bold 700. But yes, what we'll do is we'll take a look at the actual Google fonts later on in the video when we're picking out a font that we'd like for a website. So just a quick overview there. You've got type tester as well. You got glyphs. You got just a couple of information about it as well. So if you want to know more about the licensing, then there it is there. So that's the designer. But anyway, we'll go ahead and take a look at another free font website that you can use in order to gain the best font for a website. So this would be my second and last choice, which is FontSpace. Now, you can see you've got 110,000 free fonts that you can choose from, so you don't have to pay for anything there. Now, you can upload yourself if you are a designer or a graphic designer of some sort. You're wanting to maybe upload some of your own fonts into this, then you can go ahead and do so. Now, you do have a couple of funky looking ones, so depending on the look that you're going for your website, this might be the better place to go instead of Google Fonts, as Google Fonts would only tend to have nice and modernized, sleek looking ones, but with this one you can go for a little bit more of a funky look. So there's a couple of ones there. So this one's made by Checkered Ink, sorry. So you can see that this has that sort of look. Anyway, that would more be suited for something that has a retro look, or even one with a modernized website. So if you were building let's just say you're building a fashion sort of website, it'd be good for a retro look onto the site. So that could be one. So this could be our potential font to use for our website landing page build. You can see there's a couple of other ones there. We could see which is the newest fonts. So they've got quite a few different ones there. So they've got Pocky Block. There's one there that looks like it's out of Cyberpunk, if you guys have seen that. So a couple of different ones there. More there to choose from. You do also get the options down here. So anything that is related to, say, sans serif. So there's Montserrat Black, but of course this is a more bolder one to use. So it looks like there's a couple of different font families here. So there's one, there's thin style, thin italic, extra light. They've got one all the way down to the black italic style. So quite a couple of options to choose from there. So this is what I meant by the funky looking one. So they've got Golden Beach. They've got the iced soda. So few options there. Now we can go ahead and say something here. So profile tree. So we can have a look at how our website will look with this sort of font. So if we are going for just a simple logo look, then we can take a look at some of the fonts here. So that's more or less what it'll look like. I can go for something modern as well. So they've got a couple of modern options here. If I click on that, so apparently that is modern. And I can, instead of the popular, I can go ahead and select the trending. So apparently that's trending. So that's a funky looking one. So they do have a couple of other options like your styles. So you can see the trendy font styles all the way down to the pictorial fonts as well. So if we were going to go for botanical, we could see that there's a couple of options there for us. There's a cool one, ProfileTree. We also have the collections, so we can see which is the new font collections. So these are all made by the different designers. And then you've got your font generator as well. So if you want to just type or paste here, so welcome to a ProfileTree video, so something like that, then you can see which one to copy and paste. You can analyze them as well. So you can see some of the names that's been used for them, the code print as well. So it's not really important there, but say you did find a, so there's a cool one. There's a Lenny face generator. So a couple of different options there. So you wouldn't get that for the Google fonts. So you can add that in. So we'll go back to fonts. We'll have a look at a font that we would like. So I think if we just search up for, just to give us, okay, so it's not available. We'll go ahead and just pick up a random one. So Ruang. All you would need to do is go ahead and select download font. That'll go directly down here. That'll be a zip file. You'll get the entire font family. Monsant. So if I want to get that as well, I can go ahead and click on that, download. It'll be on a zip file, the entire family or font family. So we can see a couple of options on how it's being used as well. So this is how it's being used for this one, this particular font. So there's a couple of different font ones there. So this is the other ones that he's got. We'll take a look at the other one that we got, which is Monsant. So that's more of a vintage look. You can see that it's been used for, it's almost like a based off the music ones that you see, or all the classic looking films. So there's modern classic as it states. So that's one of the ones that you could use for it. So that's pretty cool. So now that we've selected a couple of fonts, we'll probably go back to both of these Google Fonts and FontSpace itself. I'm going to go ahead and hop on to Wix. So I'll use that as our website builder today. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and build up a landing page just to demonstrate the uses of the different fonts and to match them up to create the best font for a website. Okay, so to not drag the video out, I've went ahead and built a website. So I've based a couple of the fonts here. So I'll go ahead and show you guys now what fonts that's being used. So pop and semi-bold. Now, if I do want to add some of my fonts in, so some of the ones that I already added in, you can see that there's an option there for upload fonts. So I'll go ahead and upload a font in there. Now you'll not be able to see this, but I've got my Explorer up. So I'll go ahead and go back to pop and semi-bold, upload a font. So that gives me this option here. I'll go ahead and click upload fonts. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on one of the ones that I want, which is Comforta. add that in. So you can see that it's now adding that in. So of course, if you do click upload fonts, you'll get your file explorer up and stuff. So that's what that would look like. So it's now uploading our font. It should only take a couple of seconds there, but you can see some of the other ones that I've downloaded as well. So we've got the audio wide regular, Psycho Art, Unique Loves, SF Retro, so a couple of the other ones there. So now we've got the Comforta regular. I'll go ahead and click done. So I'll go ahead and change that to the font that I chose. So it has a way of actually blending in, but we need to get it to blend in properly. So we'll increase the boldness on that. And then what we'll do is we'll do the same for the actual horizontal menu. So we'll go ahead and change the design and customize the design. So text, pop in semi-bold, I'll go ahead and change that again to Comforta regular. And on top of that, I'll make it bold as well, so it's easily read. Now we've got our social media on the side there. We'll go ahead and edit those out. Again, we'll change that to Comforta regular. So you can see there, we'll just do that again. And then we'll change this one as well. Our last one here, which is the LinkedIn. And there we have it. So that's pretty much how that looks now with the House of Retro. Of course, this is the only font that's now left. I can choose to change that if I want to. So, and then you can see I have an issue with the actual font sizing. So I'll just decrease that down to maybe 20. That should give me a little bit of room. And I could bring this up a little bit more. Adjust this down. So there you go. So it's all about matching the actual sizing and fonts of each one. So you can see that this one's shop brand name, and then I would have to pair it up with something of similar. Now you can see from, if I scroll down here, there's a couple of different ones there, but with the ongoing font that you use, make sure that you bring that down to other sections as well. So that's the best thing to do if you're building a website. But yeah, that is pretty much how you would use it on the actual website. So you can see that we've used Comforta regular, and then we've used another font as well. So it's all about trying to tie in what would suit, or what two fonts would suit the actual landing page or website itself. Now, if you guys are stuck with choosing the fonts or even designing the actual website itself, go ahead and take a look at some of our blogs on ProfileTree.com. So there's a couple of ones that we have here, which is the top 4 best Wix apps to design a perfect looking website. So this could probably get you into the actual mood on designing and matching the font pairings as well. So that should be of help. And of course, on our YouTube channel, we do have a couple of other videos on how to build a few websites and just designing it on Wix, GoDaddy, Squarespace, and Shopify. So I would highly recommend to check them out. But there you have it, guys. That is the best font for a website. Hopefully you guys did find the video helpful. If you did, please do leave a comment in the comment section below. But other than that, I'll see you guys for the next video. Thank you very much for watching.